Hello, everyone. Since we're done with the lesson 1 and 2, in this part 1 video, we will discuss lesson 3, which focuses on introducing child protection laws. This lesson aims to provide you with insights, basic knowledge, and objectives as a teacher or future educator. Understanding these laws is crucial for your professional practice. In part 2 video on child protection, we will discuss the RA 7610 and address the challenges and barriers to child protection. Okay, let's start. Okay, so under the CRC, or the Convention on the Rights of the Child, the Philippines, as a signatory, is obligated to safeguard children from various forms of harm, including physical or mental violence, neglect, abuse, and exploitation. In an educational context, this means ensuring a safe and nurturing environment where children can learn and develop without fear of harm or mistreatment. For instance, schools should have policies and procedures in place to prevent and address instances of bullying, harassment or sexual harassment, or any form of abuse among students. Teachers and school staff play a crucial role in identifying and reporting suspected cases of abuse or neglect, thereby fulfilling the country's commitment to upholding children's rights and well being. Okay, so let's delve or discuss violence against children. Violence against children remains a pervasive issue with alarming statistics, revealing its prevalence across different settings. According to recent reports here, 2 out of 3 children have encountered some form of physical violence, while 3 out of 5 children have experienced psychological violence. Shockingly, one in 4 children has been subjected to sexual violence in various settings. These statistics underscore the urgent need for concerted efforts to address and prevent violence against children, ensuring their safety and well being in all environments. The first type of violence against children is physical violence. Physical violence against children manifests in various forms, with recent data highlighting concerning trends. Over half of reported physical violence cases, about 54.5%, were identified as corporal punishment, including methods like spanking with bare hands, rolled paper, or small sticks, as well as hair pulling, pinching, or ear twisting. Additionally, 30.3% of children experience more severe acts such as slapping, kicking, smothering, drowning, or burning. Disturbingly, the data also reveals that perpetrators of physical violence at home are often family members, with mothers, fathers, brothers, and sisters being the most common, with fathers often associated with the most severe forms of physical violence. Such statistics underscore the critical need for comprehensive measures to address and prevent domestic violence against children, ensuring their safety and well being within their own homes. The persistence of corporal punishment despite legal prohibitions and institutional policies is concerning. Philippine law, specifically Section 233 of the Family Code, explicitly prohibits corporal punishment. Moreover, sector policies outlined in the Public School Service Manual 1992 and the Code of Ethics also emphasize the prohibition of corporal punishment in educational settings. However, alternative discipline methods in schools, such as subjecting students to prolonged exposure to the sun or confining them in small spaces like cupboards and toilets, continue to be reported. This highlights the urgent need for stronger enforcement of existing laws and policies, as well as comprehensive measures to promote positive discipline techniques in schools, ensuring a safe and nurturing environment for all students. Okay, here, uh, from National Baseline Study about the prevalence of physical violence during childhood by sittings. So, the data reveals the concerning prevalence of physical violence during childhood, with the highest incidence, take note, the highest incidence occurring within the household or home in the home. This underscores the pivotal role of educators in safeguarding children, especially concerning or considering the uncertainty of their safety at home. Teachers play a crucial role not only in disciplining students, but also in providing a nurturing environment, particularly in cases where proper discipline may be lacking at home. Moreover, the significant occurrence of physical violence in school settings is alarming, emphasizing the urgent need for schools to uphold conducive and inclusive practices. Additionally, violence within the community, workplace, and during dating further highlights the pervasive nature of the issue, necessitating comprehensive efforts to address and prevent such occurrences. The prevalence of physical violence at home is deeply rooted in societal and cultural norms, where authoritarian parenting practices and varying parental education levels contribute to its perpetuation. In many Filipino households, corporal punishment is viewed as a demonstration of parental care or discipline for them, and concern considered as a customary and indispensable disciplinary method. However, such attitudes overlook the detrimental effects of violence on children and the importance of promoting non-violent disciplinary approaches. As educators, future teachers, it becomes imperative to challenge these cultural norms, advocate for the right of children, and foster environments that prioritize their physical and emotional well being. Through education and awareness, we can shape societal perceptions and promote positive parenting practices that nurture rather than harm children. The underlying factors contributing to violence at home often extend beyond disciplinary measures and are deeply intertwined with parental histories of physical abuse. Research suggests that financial strain and substance abuse further exacerbate this situation, forming a toxic trio. So, you know what is toxic trio? Toxic trio of risk factors of domestic violence. This term, toxic trio, refers to a combination of risk factors that significantly increase the likelihood of domestic violence or abuse within a household. The three components of this toxic trio are substance abuse, that's the first one. Second is mental health issues. Third is socioeconomic stress. So the first, again, is substance abuse. This includes the misuse or dependency on drugs or alcohol by one or more members of the household. Substance abuse can impair judgment, increase aggression, and contribute to unstable and volatile environments. Then, the second one, mental health issues. Mental health challenges such as depression, anxiety, or unresolved trauma can impact an individual's ability to cope with stressors and regulate emotions. Untreated mental health conditions may lead to heightened conflict and violence within the household. Then the last one, socioeconomic stress. Financial instability, poverty, unemployment, or housing insecurity can create significant stress within a family unit. Economic hardships may exacerbate existing tensions and increase the risk of abusive behavior as individuals struggle to meet their basic needs. Okay, so let's proceed to psychological violence under RA or Republic Act 9262. Okay, so this topic of paramount importance in understanding of safeguarding individuals within families. According to this law, RA 9262, psychological violence encompasses a wide array of acts or omissions that can cause profound mental or emotional suffering to the victim. These include not only direct acts of emotional abuse but also instances where the victim is exposed to witnessing abuse within the family, be it physical, sexual, psychological in nature. So remember those. So physical, sexual, or psychological in nature. Additionally, it extends to scenarios where the victim is subjected to pornographic material or witnesses abusive treatment towards pets. Furthermore, this form of violence also covers situations where the victim is unjustly deprived of the rights to custody and visitation of their children. It's crucial to recognize that the deep seated impact of psychological violence can have on an individual's well being, often resulting in long lasting emotional trauma. Thus, it becomes imperative for us as educators, future teachers, to not only understand but also actively work towards preventing and addressing such forms of violence to ensure the safety and mental health of all individuals within. Okay, so I have a data here about the prevalence of overall psychological violence during childhood. So it's intriguing to note that psychological violence during childhood appears to be most prevalent in the home environment, no? So home or household. One plausible theory behind this phenomenon could be the notion that home, being the primary environment where children spend a significant amount of their time, is where they are most vulnerable to experiencing such forms of violence. Additionally, factors such as family dynamics, parental behavior, and the overall atmosphere within the household can significantly influence the occurrence of psychological violence. As educators, it's incumbent upon us to recognize the gravity of the situation and take proactive measures to address it. While positive discipline strategies can certainly lay a strong foundation, it's essential not to shift blame, no, not to shift blame onto external factors such as families. As educators, we play a crucial role not only in supporting families, but also in contributing to the well-being of the broader community. We serve as vital social agents in helping children learn about and navigate various issues that impact their lives. By actively engaging with students and fostering a supportive learning environment through positive discipline, we empower them to understand and address societal challenges. So, here, did you know that approximately one third of children have experienced psychological violence in schools? Again, did you know that approximately one third of children have experienced psychological violence in schools? You heard that right. Yes, this includes actions like deliberately ignoring or shouting at children. What's concerning is that some teachers may not even perceive these behaviors as psychological violence. Some teachers, it's okay for them, right? However, studies have revealed a stark reality. This type of violence is actually a leading cause of mental illness, anxiety, or a self-harm among students in our region. It's crucial for us, right, as educators, to recognize and address these issues to create safe and nurturing learning environments for all our students. One thing we must completely avoid in this situation, is blaming the victim. We should not blame them. because they are victim. Double kill sa ilang part. It's essential to understand that no child should ever be blamed for experiencing violence, whether it's physical or psychological. Instead, as educators, you as future teachers, we need to focus on creating supportive and empathetic environments where students feel comfortable speaking up about their experiences. Okay, so let's proceed to sexual violence. In this data, it shows that similar to other types of violence, sexual violence remains high in the home, right? It's high in the home. This underscores the gravity of issues originating within households, with children being the primary victims, particularly in cases of sexual violence. It highlights the urgent need for robust child protection measures and effective implementation. So I will deal further discussion this one under RA 7610, no special protection about the children child abuse. But in this um, data, it's actually high to the during dating. But compared to other violence, physical, emotional, psychological, sexual violence high also in the home or household according to this source national baseline survey. So it's crucial to understand that the highest prevalence of childhood sexual violence is observed during dating situations, as I said. Often, perpetrators resort to verbal insistence, sweet talking, and verbal deception as methods for sexual coercion. Sometimes these strategies or perpetrators done in working environment or even in school education environment commit a um, abuse of power, right? Sexual harassment. Now, tying this back to our gender and development or God orientation every sem or semester, it's important to recognize the link between these acts and gender inequality, which can ultimately escalate into violence. This underscores the need for comprehensive education and awareness programs to address these issues effectively. Okay. So it's important to acknowledge the various factors that contribute to the vulnerability of children to sexual violence, especially within the home environment. Factors such as lack of supervision, single-headed households, the presence of a stepfather, domestic violence, and parental absence can significantly heighten this vulnerability. Moreover, the lack of effective implementation of domestic legislation, particularly concerning the minimum age of sexual consent, I'll further discuss this one or further exacerbates the issue by perpetuating legal impunity for perpetrators. No? I will further discuss this in 7610 and other topic or video presentation. Additionally, the proliferation of smartphones and dating apps has introduced new avenues for sexual violence, emphasizing the need for heightened awareness and proactive measures to safeguard children from such dangers because of new technologies, no application. This exacerbates the situation. Okay, so the UN or the concerns raised by the UN Committee on the Rights of the Child highlight significant challenges in addressing sexual abuse, particularly within religious institutions, and concerning gender based discrimination against male victims of rape. So, a good example here is um, who's appointed son. Okay, so I will not continue. So, just I will not mention names, no? Just guess who's that guy, no? So allegations of sexual abuse within religious institutions underscore the importance of ensuring the safety and protection of children in all environments, including those traditionally considered places of trust and sanctuary, including teachers, no? Including other individuals has a responsibility or duty to guide children. Moreover, addressing gender-based discrimination in legal penalties for perpetrators is crucial to ensuring equal justice for all victims, regardless of gender, and to effectively combating sexual violence in all its forms. I will address the issue of statutory rape separately in a dedicated slide or topic within the context of child marriage. Okay, so let's proceed to cyber violence. So let's deal and discuss this topic. The data reveals that a significant percentage of children aged 13 to 17 years of age, approximately 43.8%, have experienced cyber violence. Imagine, 43, 43.8%. Interestingly, the rate were slightly higher among males at 45.3% compared to females at 42.2%. Among the reported incidents, a third involved verbal abuse over the internet or mobile phones, while one quarter received sexual messages. Alarmingly, 2.5 of the children had their own nude body. Imagine. Or sexual activities shared online, both real and fake images. Additionally, 15% of males and 14.1% of females were exposed to other people's sex videos and photos online. It's noteworthy that females were more likely to receive sex messages or words over the internet compared to males. From anthropological perspective, class, the prevalence of cyber violence among adolescents reflects the intersection of technology, social dynamics, and cultural norms within contemporary society. The digital realm has become an extension of social interactions, where power dynamics and hierarchies are mirrored from offline to online spaces. The anonymity and perceived distance afforded by digital platforms may be embolden individuals to engage in harmful behaviors they might not exhibit face to face. That is why that is why under the anti-cybercrime law, penalties are elevated by 1 degree compared to equivalent crimes committed outside the cyberspace. Okay. So Philippine laws on protection of children from violence. Right? Let's continue our discussion about this child protection by talking about children protection of children from violence. It's essential to recognize that this responsibility extends beyond just families to include schools, government agencies, and broader community as a whole. Under the 1987 Constitution, particularly in Article 15, Section 3, underscore unders underscores the paramount importance of protecting the rights of children. It mandates the state to uphold and defend these rights, ensuring that children receive necessary assistance, including proper care, nutrition, and special protection from various forms of harm. By enshrining these principles in the highest law of the land, the Constitution establishes a solid foundation for safeguarding the well-being and development of children, emphasizing their fundamental rights and ensuring that they are prioritized in all facets of society. Okay, so under Executive Order number 209, the Family Code of the Philippines, it's civil code, no, deals with the family as an institution and contains provisions relating to family disputes, legitimation, adoption, financial support, and Parental Authority and Discipline Act. Through its provisions, the Family Code of the Philippines, it seeks to establish guidelines and mechanisms for resolving conflicts, promoting responsible parenting, and safeguarding the rights of all family members. So, who knows the captain barangay is ready to rescue? Who knows captain barangay? You know your captain. This act mandates the barangay. No? The Republic Act number 6972. The smallest administrative division in the Philippines, the barangay, with the responsibility of ensuring the protection of children against various forms of neglect, abuse, cruelty, exploitation, and detrimental conditions. By placing the duty of child protection at the local level, this law underscores the importance of community involvement and collective action in upholding the rights and welfare of young children. Another law is Republic Act number 7610. This is also called as the Special Protection of Children Against Abuse, Exploitation, and Discrimination Act of 1991. Provides protection to children against all forms of abuse, neglect, cruelty, exploitation, and discrimination. So this law class comprehensively addresses issues such as abuse, neglect, cruelty, exploitation, and discrimination faced by children. However, due its complexity and significance, it merits further detailed discussion in a separate video na lang, no? To thoroughly explore its provisions and importance in protecting the rights and welfare of children. So it's a long discussion, so I need a separate video for this one. Just familiarize the objectives and purpose of this law, RA 7610. So, to mention some important details here about RA 7610, its provisions protect children against all forms of violence, including covers a wide range of acts, including psychological abuse, neglect, cruelty, and emotional maltreatment and neglect. It also prohibits and criminalizes child prostitution and other sexual abuse, child trafficking, obscene publication, and incident shows, indecent shows, other acts of abuse and circumstances which endanger child survival and development, including child labor, children of indigenous communities, and children in situations of armed conflict. So I will discuss those in a separate video discussion. So let's proceed to another act or law, Republic Act 7277 or Magna Carta for Disabled Persons. 1992 provides for rights of disabled persons, including women and children. It's a landmark legislation that upholds the rights and welfare of individuals with disabilities, including women and children among this vulnerable group. This law ensures that disabled persons receive adequate support, protection, and opportunities for their full participation in society. Encompasses various provisions aimed at promoting inclusivity, accessibility, and equal treatment for persons with disabilities in consonance with the GAD objectives, right? So emphasizing their rights to education, employment, healthcare, and social services. So this topic is also to be discussed in separate video class. Um, Regarding Indigenous Peoples' Rights Act of 1987, under Republic Act number 87, 8371, provides for the non-recruitment of children of indigenous cultural communities, indigenous peoples into the armed forces. So the prohibition of the recruitment of children from these communities into the armed forces, ensuring their protection from exploitation and involvement in armed conflicts. This law underscores the importance of preserving the cultural heritage and integrity of indigenous groups while promoting their active participation in national development efforts. So, another law, Republic Act 8972, the Solo Parents Welfare Act of 2000. yes, 2000, provides for benefits and privileges for lone parents and their children. One notable benefit under this law is the provision of a 7-day solo parent leave, acknowledging the challenges faced by solo parents in balancing their responsibilities as a solo parent. By extending benefits and privileges to solo parents regardless of gender, this law aligns with the principles of gender equality or God concepts or principles, recognizing the diverse circumstances and needs of individuals fulfilling the role of sole caregivers of their children. Okay, another law is a Republic Act 9231. The Act prohibiting employment of children in hazardous areas of 1999. So this legislation recognizes the recruitment of children for use in armed conflict as one of the most egregious forms of child labor, emphasizing the need to protect children from exposure to hazardous conditions that may endanger their well-being. Furthermore, the law prohibits the employment of children in activities that may degrade or exploit them, such as advertising tobacco, alcohol, or engaging in any form of prostitution or sexual acts or activity. By enacting such provisions, RA Republic Act 9231 upholds the rights of children and promotes their holistic development in safe and nurturing environments. Okay, another law, Republic Act 9208, the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Act 2003. Okay. This prohibits and criminalizes trafficking for the purposes of prostitution, pornography, sexual exploitation, forced labor, slavery, involuntary servitude, or death bondage, and the recruitment, transportation, or abduction of children to engage in armed activities. An example related to this law could involve the trafficking of children for purposes of engaging in cyber pornography. In this scenario, traffickers may exploit vulnerable children, including students, by coercing or deceiving them into producing sexually explicit materials for online distribution. So this one is uso kayo this high-tech na kayang technology. For instance, perpetrators might approach children online under false pretenses, promising lucrative opportunities, including money, monetary value, or posing as friends, only to manipulate them into performing sexual acts on camera. Such exploitation not only violates the children's rights to safety and protection, but also undermines their access to education and healthy development. The next law, the RA 9255, an act allowing illegitimate children to use the surname of their father. So it's amends the Family Code of the Philippines. So this law enables children born out of wedlock, no, wala gikasal na women and men, to carry the surname of their father, granting them legal acknowledgement of their paternal lineage. By amending the Family Code of the Philippines, this RA 9255 promotes equality and addresses the social stigma often associated with illegitimacy. It affirms the right of every child to identity, dignity, and familial connection, regardless of their parents' marital status. Another law, which is also an important law, RA 9262, the Anti-Violence Against Women and Their Children Act of 2004, or VAUSI law. It establishes protection or protective measures to ensure the safety and security of women and their children, empowering them to seek legal recourse and assistance in cases of abuse or violence. This law gives importance or underscores the government's commitment to combating gender based violence and promoting gender equality in society. So further discussion on this law, RA 9262 or VAUSI law, will offer deeper insights into its provisions and implications. Additionally, the Safe Spaces Act or Anti-Basis Law will be addressed also as it is equally important and requires clear delivery. So, separate video and discussion about these topics, the VAUSI and the Anti-Basis Law. Another law is the Juvenile Justice and Welfare Act of 2006. So, RA 9344, just know the objectives of this one because I think another video presentation is needed for this discussion. This law will be elaborated, right, in another video. So the rules of other government agencies and the issue of the age of criminal responsibility is the focus or highlight in this RA 9344. These are crucial matters that require focused discussion and attention. Like, for example, answering the questions such as whether an 18-year-old will be imprisoned. Priso ba? How about a 20-year-old? Priso ba? 20 naman. Or even a 16-year-old, a minor. Priso ba? Or it depends. It involves delving into the complexities of the Juvenile Justice and Welfare Act, right? This law addresses the age of criminal responsibility and outlines specific interventions and treatments for minors in conflict with the law. Because, as an example, um, a general rule, an 18-year-old can be imprisoned, right? So if 18 na ka, pwede ka mapiso if they committed a crime. And also in our jurisprudence, children, regardless of age, have the right to bail as a matter of right. So further discussion again in a separate video na ta ha. Let's proceed to another act or law, RA 9775, that Anti-Child Pornography Act of 2009 incorporates the provisions of the UN CRC, the optional protocol to the UNCRC on the sale of children, the prostitution, and child pornography. ILO or International Labour Organization Convention number 182 on the elimination of the worst forms of child labor and Convention against transnational organized crime relating to child pornography and establishes an interagency council against child pornography. So imagine class as a scenario where students, particularly adolescents, are vulnerable to online exploitation through the sharing of explicit images or videos. By enforcing this act, RA 9775, the Anti-Child Pornography, okay, by enforcing this act, schools can implement robust internet safety protocols and educational programs to raise awareness about the dangers of online predators and the importance of responsible digital citizenship. Moreover, educators or even the future teachers like you can engage students in your classmates discussions about consent, privacy, and healthy relationships, empowering them to recognize and report instances of online abuse. Through proactive measures and education, schools play a pivotal role in safeguarding students from the harms of child pornography and fostering a safe online learning environment conducive to their overall well-being and development. Another is RA 9745, an act penalizing torture and other cruel, inhumane, and degrading punishment. So, in educational setting, this law underscores the importance of promoting a safe and nurturing environment where students are free from any form of physical or psychological harm. Schools have a responsibility to uphold the principles of dignity and respect, ensuring that disciplinary measures are administered in a humane manner without resorting to torture or hazing. For example, another example is hazing law or degrading punishment. By adhering to the provisions of this act, Educators contribute to fostering a culture of compassion and empathy, where the rights and well-being of every child are prioritized and upheld. Okay, so this one is also a good and important law about child protection. Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012 or RA 10175 penalizes cyber sex for favor or consideration, deny monetary value or deny favor, an act of child pornography committed through a computer system or through online. So this act addresses the evolving challenges posed by technology-related offenses, particularly those affecting children. This law aims to combat cyber sex trafficking and child pornography, safeguarding minors from exploitation and abuse in online spaces. Educators play a crucial role here in raising awareness among students, not only students but including parents and their guardians about the risk associated with internet usage, emphasizing the importance of responsible online behavior and digital literacy. By promoting vigilance and collaboration within the community, educators contribute to creating a safer online environment for children where their rights and well-being are protected. Further exploration of this topic class in subsequent discussion na no in a separate video will provide a deeper understanding of its complexities and also its implications. Okay? So proceed ta sa Republic Act 106/27, the Anti-Bullying Act of 2013. So this law mandates schools to implement anti-bullying policies even if it is not a criminal law. Under the criminal law kay no one no is mapriso, but it's more on administrative. That's why it mandates the school to implement these anti-bullying policies and procedures to effectively address incidents of bullying and protect students from abuse of power. So example here is illustrating the importance of this law in promoting gender equality is when male students use physical strength or social status to intimidate or harass female students, perpetuating a culture of power imbalance and gender-based violence. Through implementation or the implementation of anti-bullying measures, schools can foster a safe and inclusive environment where all students, regardless of gender, can thrive academically and socially. Further exploration of this topic in subsequent discussions will provide additional insights into its implications for promoting gender equality and preventing violence in school. I have a separate slides or video for this. Okay, another law class is the Children's Emergency Relief and Protection Act of 2015 or RA 108/21. Government agencies such as the Department or the DSWD are tasked with implementing emergency programs to ensure the protection and immediate recovery of children affected by calamities. The also NGOs, non-governmental organizations, collaborate with government agencies to provide additional support and resources for children in need. Schools are Schools also have a significant role in emergency response efforts by providing safe spaces like evacuation for children and facilitating reunification with their families. For example, here is during a typhoon, government agencies work alongside NGOs to establish evacuation centers equipped with the child-friendly spaces where children can receive care and support. School personnel receive training in emergency response protocols to effectively address the needs of children during disasters, highlighting the collaborative efforts of various stakeholders in ensuring the safety and well-being of children in times of crisis, just like a sunog or a fire out, right? So that's why they will use the elementary schools or high schools or campuses. This is in consonance with this RA 108 21. So this concludes our part 1 class, part 1 of our child protection video. In part 2, we will delve into additional laws, no continuation, but more on discussion concerning child protection, particularly focusing on RA 7610, Special Protection of Children Against Child Abuse, Exploitation, and Discrimination Act. This topic is particularly relevant to us or teachers and future educators as it addresses contemporary challenges in disciplining students within the school environment. Stay tuned for more insights and discussions in our upcoming video. Good luck and God bless.